The Assassin's Creed franchise has had numerous phases throughout its nearly 16 years in the market. Assassin's Creed came from humble beginnings, but rapidly fans were amidst a phase of oversaturation paired with extreme growth. While some games were undoubtedly better than others, and not everything was a Game of the Year contender, the trajectory of the IP remained strong, until 2014's Assassin's Creed Unity was slammed for poor performance and a range of short-lived facial animation issues. From there, the follow-up Syndicate paid the reputational price for Unity's flaws, and all of a sudden, the IP went on hiatus. Following a 24-month break, Assassin's Creed returned in a new form, and beginning with 2017's Origins, the heavily RPG-inspired phase began. It was by the third entry, 2020's Valhalla, that fans grew tired of the frequency of new entries combined with their enormous size. And so here we are again, at a junction point for the franchise, and this time, Assassin's Creed is going back to its roots. With thanks to Ubisoft Australia, I had the opportunity to go to Sydney and try out the upcoming Assassin's Creed Mirage, the Iraq-set new chapter in the franchise that features both a familiar, modern face and the franchise's gorgeous modern visuals, its many mechanical improvements, with a dollop of the past layered atop it. For those who've been longing for a return to what they first loved in Assassin's Creed, Mirage seems to be exactly what you've been looking for. I was fortuitous enough to spend close to 4 hours with Mirage, which saw me explore 3 vertical slices of the full experience, which showed me 3 phases of Basim's journey. And it all began with a sequence called The Call, where we met a younger Basim, who, at the time that we're introduced to him, was a young street thief, demonstrating all the base competencies to one day become a master assassin. This early chapter gives us a chance to learn a lot about Basim, his early life, and even some of the key figures from those years, including close friend Nehal. Nehal is an excellent guiding hand in this tutorial arc, and the relationship the pair have is superbly established in this short period before Basim's destiny is reshaped suddenly. Stealth is the primary focus of this period, as players are shown all the base maneuvers that Basim can perform as he attempts to steal a much needed ledger. From blending into crowds to using basic distraction tools, sneaking through tall grass, and studying the scouting paths of those who would mean to stop you, Basim demonstrates all of the necessary proficiencies to be a prime candidate for the Assassin's Order. In the second playable sequence that Ubisoft titled The Initiation, we see Basim's ascent through the Assassin's ranks, while the gameplay focus of this tutorial section shifts to combat. By this stage, Basim has joined the Order and is working with a mentor, Roshan, as he builds his skills as an assassin. In this sequence, many familiar franchise pillars are introduced to the player, from the leap of faith to combat. After obtaining your gear and arms, players are thrust into a tutorial fight with Roshan as you learn several key aspects of combat, from locking onto targets to attacking, parrying, and dodging. Each of these elements feel good enough to execute, though I certainly have some concerns about the input mapping. I'm not sure that the exact arrangement of A, B, X and Y inputs currently feels conducive to efficient gameplay. Even after my entire session with the game, I still found myself instinctively using buttons that would work for any other game, but perform a different function in Mirage. In time, this may feel more natural, but currently, the inputs for dodging, parrying, and more feel counterintuitive.
Why must we stop? I learned nothing from failing.
As you find your feet against Roshan, your skills will soon be tested by an attack on camp that you need to play a significant part in responding to. Once that threat has been squashed and a little time skip takes place, the player will be granted their first skill point, which can be attributed to skills under one of 3 skill trees: Phantom, Trickster, and Predator, which unlocks skills like Kickback, Auto-Collect, and Pathfinder respectively, each designed to enhance Basim's skill set in different ways. From here, it is time for Basim to receive his Hidden Blade and to be inducted formally into the Assassin's Order in a way that long-time fans know all too well to this point.
Show no mercy.
This takes us to the final section of the demo, the Ascent, where I could now be thrown into the world without shackles to take down a target. The objective began with me placed in a bazaar of the Kark region of Baghdad. But the world was my oyster, giving me opportunity to engage with the world and learn more about the notoriety system, explore the world and the many side quests available, unlock more viewpoints, and more. I quickly found that the more aggressive approach I was able to successfully apply in more recent Assassin's Creed titles was detrimental in Mirage. Much like early entries in the franchise, local law enforcement would be quick to tire off your antics and would be incredibly aggressive in response to your own violent acts. I quickly relearned the art of restraint that I built through the first few games in the franchise and applied a stealthy approach to most subsequent scenarios. There is still a place for aggression, and in some scenarios you may feel like you have no other choice, but if you choose to brute force your way through, the game can go with you. The combat, even when you found yourself in seemingly overwhelming situations, still feels balanced, and success does not feel unattainable, though perhaps still unlikely in some instances. Recent Assassin's Creed entries, Odyssey and Valhalla, have employed a mercenary system that chronicled the various threats of the world, some core plot targets, while many others were optional, but excellent challenges. The mercenaries model has become the investigation board in Assassin's Creed Mirage, and its structure made the pursuit of my primary target in this Ascent section of the demo all the more engaging. A range of smaller objectives, from eavesdropping on conversations to assisting the locals in exchange for information, all help you to triangulate an area and hone in on your target. Once you've done so, the open-ended process of finding and assassinating the target begins. The investigation of the bazaar was a fascinating one, as I came to learn of the various machinations of the environment, the political levers that were being pulled behind the scenes, and eventually, who that key player was. When the time comes to finally launch your attack, elements of the old Assassin's Creed titles come to the fore. I had the chance to isolate and kill my target, however I observed others who were completing the demo alongside me go about in vastly different ways, finding the target well before I did and felling them, or going in all guns blazing, laying waste to all.
That woman mentioned the treasurer. I should keep my ears closed.
Assassin's Creed Mirage feels like a sweet spot for the franchise, one that embraces many of the modern accoutrements found in its origins through Valhalla, and blends those superbly with traditional gameplay systems that players have sorely been missing. Millions of players have already established a strong relationship with Basim, but Mirage is going to be a fantastic opportunity to learn more about an already amazing, engaging character, before he found his way to Ivor during the events of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Mirage launches on October 5th, 2023 on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. And thank you very much to Ubisoft for providing me the opportunity to go check out the game early.